Cable Solutions, Wireteknik instructional video. First, remove the lid on the custom aluminum box. The Wireteknik tool is a very expensive tool, $5,000 US. Please be responsible for the tool. Please do not let it get damaged or stolen. The customer is responsible for all replacement costs. Once you remove the lid, go ahead and remove the locking nuts that hold the tool fast to the inside of the box. The Wireteknik tool itself has 4 nylock nuts. Remove the back aluminum bracket. The front aluminum bracket is a little bit of a bear. You have to remove the draw arm to be able to remove that latch. We pull the tool out of the box to remove the second locking bracket. Clear the wing nut on the draw arm, slide it forward, and remove the second bracket. Now go ahead and remove the locking nuts from the hydraulic unit on the tool. And remove the hydraulic unit from the packing board. Now remove the rubber cap from the hydraulic female fitting on the Wireteknik tool. And remove the rubber washer from the hose. Now feed the hose around the front of the tool, coming in straight to the female connector. Pushing it in firmly. And locking the hose onto the Wireteknik tool with the stainless locking nut. The hydraulics are now connected to the Wireteknik tool. You can see when we pump this hydraulic unit that it pulls the draw arm away from the dies. We have 2 sets of dies with this tool, 1/8 inch and 3/16. For this particular example where you use dies, you can see to the die they have an arrow pointing in the direction you want to set your dies. You want to make sure this arrow is pointing towards the center of the tool or the direction that the dies roll. There's a small tit on the outside of the tool itself. You slip the dies down over, make sure it's seated. It's simple as that. The arrows have to be pointing towards the inside of the tool. Now we're going to go ahead and swage a button terminal on. We slide the cable in about 1/8 of an inch, bend it, then push it in until it bottoms out. This helps the cable from not slipping out of the fitting when you swage the fitting to the cable. We usually mark it with a Marks-a-Lot to make sure that the squirt out of the cable. Swing the guard off to the right. Swing the dies around till they bite the fitting. You want to make sure that the dies bite where the swage portion of the fitting is, not on solid steel. It's approximately 1/2 inch from the edge. Slip the button into the draw arm. Move the draw arm forward. Adjust the wing nut Swing the dies closed till they bite at the bottom of the swage. Again, not on solid steel, but the bottom of the swage. Swing the guard closed. Close the bleed on the hydraulic and begin pumping. You can see the draw arm pulls the fitting through the dies. It's as simple as that. Swing the guard off to the right. Release the hydraulic unit. Spin the dies. There you have it. This tool leaves one small flash mark. However, it does swage the fitting in one pass. As you can see with the no-go gauge, it's fitting in there nicely. For the next example, we're going to use a threaded tensioning terminal on a deck toggle turnbuckle. We're going to remove the threaded tensioning portion of the turnbuckle. Again, sliding it in an eighth, pushing it in until it bottoms out, marking the bottom of the swage. Now we're going to move it around to the front of the tool, making sure that the cable is feeding from the top and the fitting is pointing towards the draw arm. Again, we move the dies in till they bite on the fitting. Again, we want to make sure we're not on solid steel here, but actually compressing the part that actually touches the cable. You can see it's approximately ½ inch from the threads. We also put a washer on the face to ensure that it holds when we start drawing the fitting. Swing the guard closed, close the bleed, start pumping the hydraulic unit. Again, you can see the draw arm pulling the fitting through the dies. And there you have it. One swage terminal on a threaded tensioning terminal. Spin the dies around to release the cable and remove the cable. You can see there's one small flash mark, and you can see we started our swage approximately ½ inch from the bottom of the threads itself. Again, we check it with the no-go gauge. It slips in nicely. The fitting will not pull off. The cable will break before the fitting pulls off. Now for repacking. Remove the dies. Swing the guard arm in. Bleed the hydraulic unit. Disconnect the hose from the tool. Recap the hose, recap the tool. Close the bleed on the hydraulic unit to ensure no hydraulic fluid leaks out during shipment. Spin the hydraulic ram around. Insert it over the shipping posts. Two nylock nuts. Again, put a wrench on all of these nuts to make sure they're tight. to ensure the tool does not move during shipment. Now put the tool back into the custom aluminum box. Again, it's heavy. Take your time. Put it in the box gently and slip the bolts into the packing board holes. Again, this tool is custom made. The box, rather, is custom made for the tool. Please ensure that it's connected correctly. Remove the draw arm. Slip the front bracket onto the tool underneath the draw arm. Slip it over the bolts. Reattach the wing nut to the draw arm. Attach the rear bracket to the tool, again slipping it over the transporting bolts. Attach 4 nylocks on all 4 bolts. The threads are 1/4 20. Again, put a wrench on all 4 nuts and crank down on them. Make sure everything's tight. The dies come in a Pelican box. The dies are very expensive, $500 a set. Open the Pelican box. There's 2 gaskets on the inside to hold the dies. Pack on the insides of the gaskets. Close the Pelican box, lock in place. Set the Pelican box on the inside of the aluminum box for shipping. A little bit of packing material on top will never hurt anything. And for the final step, 1 zip tie around the draw arm to keep it from rattling around. Again, reattach the lid, close the hasps, and lock the box. We prefer that you wrap the box in cardboard to ship. Thanks.